Are you tired of using meaningless cell references in your formulas? Do you want to use proper names in your formulas, which are more meaningful, self-explanatory, and understandable? Do you want to make your formulas look more professional and unique? Then welcome to our tutorial on named references. We have an Excel sheet containing financial data of 2 years. The first portion is an income statement showing calculation of profit from revenues and expenses. Then we have a balance sheet containing assets, liabilities, and the equity of a firm. Finally, we have a list of some ratios which need to be calculated from the above data. In Excel, when we calculate something, we use cell references. For example, here we calculated the interest payment, which means 3% of B23. What is B23? It is the amount of loans. So why don't we use loans instead of B23? Because Excel does not know that the amount mentioned in B23 cell is loans. In today's tutorial, we will learn to use actual names instead of cell references. So, in the function, we will enter loans multiply by 3%, instead of B23 multiply by 3%. To use actual names, we can define names, using the Name Manager, in the Formulas tab. Here we can use the Define Name button to define a name. Define Name is a smart tool. It picks a name for you from the cell at left. We will take advantage of this feature to quickly define meaningful names. We have 2 problems. Number 1, we have 2 values against each item. For example, sales of 2023 and 2022. We cannot call them both sales. Number 2, we have no titles at the left of the 2022 values, which define name could pick for us. Therefore, we will have to type all those names manually. The solution is simple. We will create 2 columns, at the left of both years. We will enter a formula, where we will combine titles in column A, with words current and previous. Current will be used for 2023, and previous will be used for 2022. This way, names will still apply, when years change. We will apply these formulas to our entire report. We will delete unnecessary rows. Now we can define names. Let's define names for each item. We will just select a cell, click on the Define Name button, and press OK. We will also define names for total assets and total liabilities. You can also define names based on formulas. For example, we will define a name for quick assets, which is the sum of cash in hand and cash at banks. In the reference field, we will enter a formula to sum the values. We will use the same method to define quick assets for previous period and current assets for both periods. So, starting with our existing formulas, let's replace the cell references with the actual names. Let's use the word loans here, since Excel knows now what is loans. Change the cell reference in the other formulas to names as well. Now, the formulas are more meaningful and understandable. Let's use names in other formulas as well. Our first ratio is current assets ratio, which is calculated by dividing current assets by current liabilities. We, however, have only one item in current liabilities, payables, which will be used in the formula. Quick assets will be calculated by dividing quick assets by current liabilities or payables. We will divide loans by equity to calculate debt-equity ratio. We can format numbers to display decimal points as well. We will divide earning before interest and tax by total assets to calculate return on assets. There are many variations of this formula. You can use net profit after tax also to calculate this value. Equity is divided by total assets to calculate the value of return on equity. We will calculate gross profit margin by dividing gross profit by sales. Similarly, net profit is used to calculate the value of net profit margin. Finally, to calculate assets turnover, we will divide sales by total assets. In the formula auditing section, we can click on the Show Formulas button to display all the formulas. As you can see, we did not use any cell references. Instead, we used proper names, which look more professional and are more meaningful and understandable. We can toggle the Show Formulas button to hide formulas. Now, we do not need the column B and D, which we can delete. For our final trick, we can also define a name for entire range, such as 2023 and 2022, as current and previous. This way, we can perform operation on an entire range by using a single formula. For example, we want to calculate growth on each item. We will simply divide current over previous and deduct 1. To handle errors, we will use the if error formula and display blank values instead of errors. Let's format growth as percentage. And that's it, we did not have to enter formula for each item. Thanks for watching. We hope you liked our tutorial. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more tutorials and updates.